We continue now with Bad Chemistry. Once again, Keith Morrison.
Tim Schuster was gone. 2 decades of Mr. Meek to his wife's domination, and now he'd lost his marriage, his job, and at least his friends feared he'd lost his life. But not, they were determined, to suicide.
He wouldn't do that to his kids. He wouldn't do that to his mom.
So, had someone done something to him? Why not ask James Fagoni?
This is the home that James Fagoni would babysit at.
Fagoni, it turned out, was 21 years old and a babysitter before and after the breakup for young Tyler, the Schuster's son. He was a personal assistant of sorts for Larissa. Fagoni was a good kid by all accounts, good family. Here's his attorney, Peter Jones.
Mr. Fagoni? Yeah. Well, this is a young man who had over a 4.0 grade point average, straight A's in high school. He was an Annapolis candidate. He was really a gentle spirit.
Gentle or not, police believed Fagoni might know something about the disappearance of Tim Schuster. And so they found young Fagoni, took him in for questioning.
And we believe that you may have some information that will help us.
Fagoni was very nervous. That was obvious. Maybe because right off the bat, cops dragged up that old accusation that Fagoni, along with Larissa, broke into Tim's house and took some things.
She was just kind of going around, and I was just kind of trying to get a TV and some stuff. So I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't really want to know too much. I think that was the problem. And whose house were you in? I believe it was Tim's. Well, it was Tim's house. Tim who? Tim Schuster.
By now, a few minutes into the warm-up questions, Fagoni seemed visibly frightened. He half admitted he did help Larissa take some things from Tim's house the year before, but knew nothing at all about the man's recent disappearance. So detectives kept pressing him, telling Fagoni they knew he had to be involved. And suddenly his resolve not to tell, if that's what it was, imploded. James Fagoni cracked. Yes, he confessed, he was there the night Tim vanished, was there at Tim's house. And he went there with a weapon.
So, you mentioned a stun gun. Did you use that at all? Yeah.
Here in the interrogation room, Fagoni's resolve simply collapsed. As detectives asked their questions, he blurted out the whole story.
How many times did you use it on? A couple times. Where did you use that one first then? Just kind of like on the arm or whatever, and then he was just like, and then he fell like in that small area.
It happened, said Fagoni, at Tim's front door, the night before he missed that morning meeting with his hospital's HR director. After Fagoni fired the stun gun, Tim collapsed and fell in the entrance of his house. And then, well, then the dismal work of that dreadful night began in earnest. And as Fagoni told his awful story, his audience, seasoned detectives, remember, could scarcely believe their ears.
Good God! What a story!
And this is what James is telling me while I'm sitting there talking to him. And he is telling me most of the aspects of this and in fairly good detail.
Laying out the whole crime.
Laying out the whole crime.
But why would a normal 21-year-old kid, a fine student, a good kid, harm Tim? What motive did he have? And the answer was maybe he didn't. Maybe someone else did. In fact, when he heard the story himself, Fagoni's lawyer was convinced someone must have put him up to it.
He would have never done this in a million years on his own.
What did young James Fagoni tell his lawyer and those policemen? Was he telling the truth? There was more investigating to be done, more to the story than anyone guessed. The real horror hadn't been discovered yet.
Coming up, when I opened the barrel, I saw something that was very, very shocking to me.
When Bad Chemistry continues.